And finally tonight, there is some speculation that the stock markets are now too big to fail. Now, the U.S. stock market is integral to the global financial system in two ways. Now that investment banks, pension funds, insurers, and multitudes of 401k retirement plans are dependent on current equity valuations, a crash would impair virtually the entire spectrum of finance, from hedge funds to banks to insurers to pension plans. So a decimation of these sectors would impact the U.S. economy and thus the global economy very negatively. It's just too integral to the global financial system. Obviously, a crash there could be catastrophic, and those points right there just let you know just how integral it is. But those aren't the only predictions. Obviously, we've been talking about a coming collapse. Well, now some eerie statistics are predicting, of course, this coming Shemitah market wipeout. There are only 8 trading days left until the Shemitah. Now, of course, we've reported on this before. The past 5 Shemitah cycles have ended in crashes, and this one could be the worst yet. Now, a respected statistician has proven that this mathematical validity behind the Shemitah theory. This is Thomas Pound. He's an educator and mathematician, and he's, of course, talking about, only 8 more trading days remain until the dreaded Elul 29. It's the final day of the Shemitah year, known as Wipeout Day on the Hebrew calendar. And he says statistically it appears that the calendar years in which the sabbatical year ends are worse than the other 6 years, and the difference is significant based on that data that he has. And he says to expect something really bad in September. And of course, we've had Gerald Celente on, Harry Dent as well, Michael Snyder also predicting this. But that's not it. There are also other signs in the heaven this month. We are going to have the 6th supermoon of the year, and this supermoon will also be a blood moon because it's going to coincide with a total lunar eclipse. Now, NASA says that the supermoon lunar eclipse is going to take place September 27th. Supermoons occur when a full moon coincides with the moon's perigee, which is when the moon is closest to the Earth. So it's going to appear larger and brighter than it normally would. And the supermoon of this month is expected to be the closest one of 2015. So it's going to look huge on September 27th. It'll also be a blood moon, like I said, because it's going to coincide with that total lunar eclipse, which is an extremely unusual event for a supermoon and a lunar eclipse to coincide. NASA says it's happened only 5 times since 1900. The last time it happened occurred in 1982, and we will not see another until 2033. Well, we are witnessing a time of political upheaval, a staggering economy, wars and rumors of wars everywhere, and in fact, we're even seeing some auspicious signs in the heavens. Is there an ancient mystery that lies behind everything that we're witnessing, from the rise and fall of the stock market to the rise and fall of nations? Well, my guest today hopes to possibly answer that question. This is Jonathan Cahn, and he's the author of 2 New York Times bestseller books. The first is The Harbinger, and then his new book, The Mystery of the Shemitah. It predicts a biblical pattern which indicates that financial collapse may be coming in 2015.
Once when I wrote the book, people from Wall Street were contacting me and saying, some of them saying there is a 7-year cycle. And when I looked after I wrote the book, they actually are identifying the 7-year cycle on the time of the Shemitah, but they have no idea what the Shemitah is. So I'd say it's bigger than that. There are conspiracies, but this is bigger than that. When you look at the last 40 years, Dan, it's the greatest crashes, or the collapsing of Wall Street, the long-term collapses are the years 1973, 1980, 87, 2000, and 2007. Every single one of them happens on a 7-year cycle. That's the Shemitah. Every single one of them happens at the time of the Shemitah. But not only that, if you look at the greatest collapses in world history, just in modern times, the top 3, which is number 3 is 1937, 1938. That's the year of the Shemitah. The number 2 is 2007, 2008, the Great Recession, year of the Shemitah. Number 1 is the Depression, greatest year is 1930-31, year of the Shemitah. Every single one happens in this time period. And it even gets more precise, because the amazing thing is the majority of them all happen at the same time of year. They happen at the time of the month of Tishri. That's why for years, economists have been boggled. Why do all these great crashes happen around September, October? Well, that's the biblical month of Tishri. But it even gets more like intense and stunning, because if you look at the last two cycles, which is 2001 and 2007, the amazing thing is this phenomenon, or actually 2008, this phenomenon is getting more and more precise and more powerful or stunning. For example, 2001, you have 9/11 happens. It causes the greatest point crash in world history. Well, when does that take place? It's September 17th, 2001. That's the greatest crash. What day is that? That date is Elul 29, the exact day of the Shemitah that comes once every 7 years. That's the day appointed to wipe out the financial realm in the Bible, the exact day, and it's a sign of judgment. If you go 7 years into the future and you find you have the other greatest crash in world history to this day, September 29, 2008, greatest crash ever. When does that take place? On September 29th, and the biblical calendar, it's Elul 29, the exact same biblical day that comes once every 7 years. So the two greatest crashes in world history each happen exactly 7 biblical years apart, down to the day, down to the hour, the minute, the second, on the day that's appointed once in 7 years to wipe out the financial realm. So, I mean, this is stunning. I don't believe, no matter what, anybody could have put this thing together. I mean, that's how precise it is, down to the day and down to the seconds. The pattern of the last Shemitahs have been that often at the beginning of the Shemitah, you don't notice anything, but there are often foreshadows. Well, the major thing, if something's going to happen, the major period is going to be coming up is always at the end of the Shemitah as we approach September. That's the time of that wipeout. I'm not saying it has to happen, but I believe we need to be aware of it. And interesting, people who look at signs, one of the signs in the Bible of judgment is the darkening of the sun or an eclipse. Not that it always is, but it can be. On the day that we get to the wipeout day, Elul 29 of this Shemitah cycle, the sun's going to be darkened at that time. The last time that happened was 1987, when the sun was darkened at Elul 29. It led into Black Monday, the worst day crash in world history. I believe we are going to watch, if we don't turn back, if this nation keeps on going on its course, we're going to watch the fall of America, or the shaking of America. And the American age that you and I and all our listeners have known since we were born is going to come to an end. And the Shemitah is very exact, very precise. And I believe this is a real warning that we need to be ready. Here's the thing. If you look at the year 1917, you have the year of the Shemitah. At the end of it would be this prophetic period that begins September 1917 to September 1918. Did anything significant happen with prophecy or restoration? Well, here's the amazing thing. In that exact period, Britain is winning the First World War. The Ottoman Empire crashes. The land of Israel goes to Britain. Britain issues the Balfour Declaration, gives the land back to the Jewish people in the restoration, the Jubilee coming back to the land in the exact time period. And if you count 7 Shemitahs later to the next 7th Shemitah, it gives you the period that is 1966 September to 1967 September. Right in the middle of that comes the next prophetic restoration, the 6-Day War, when Israel regains Jerusalem. Well, here's the thing. I'm not being dogmatic. I'm not saying it has to be. But if we follow this one more time, where does it take us? It takes us to the Shemitah that we're in right now. That's the 7th Shemitah. And the period of prophetic restoration would be September 2015 to September 2016. Now, again, not being dogmatic, but if it follows the pattern of what happened before, it would mean war in the Middle East, and a war resulting in the next piece or puzzle piece of prophecy. So this is so big. I mean, we're talking about from our pocketbooks, our bank accounts, to America, to prophecy, to the end time. So it's very specific. It's very exact.
Well, that's it for the show tonight. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to become a subscriber to the Alex Jones channel. Help take us to the next level. You can also become a subscriber to prisonplanet.tv. Your subscription there gets you instant access to over 18 years of high-def content. You're not going to find it on YouTube. And of course, you can share your username and password with up to 20 people at the same time, and you are helping to support this operation. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you here again Monday, 7 p.m. Central.
A clean, toxic-free body is the foundation of true health. Introducing Deep Cleanse by InfoWarsLife.com, a scientifically formulated blend of nanocolloidal zeolites and organic ingredients that aid the body in cleansing chemicals and toxic metals. Using our proprietary multi-step extraction technology, Deep Cleanse is our most affordable all-in-one cleanser with concentrated organic compounds like cilantro, milk thistle, fulvic acid, orange peel, zeolites, and others. Deep Cleanse doesn't hold back. Instead of buying 5, 6, or even 7 different cleansing products, we use decades-old scientific research to put together the Rolls-Royce of all-in-one cleansing. Look, there's a reason Deep Cleanse is the only product on the market that uses our proprietary Spigyrex herbal processing technique. We use only the highest quality organic herbs backed by serious research, and we still bring it to you at the best price out there. If you wish to find Deep Cleanse and experience the all-in-one cleansing, visit InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
You are watching the InfoWars Nightly News, which airs 7 p.m. Central at InfoWarsNews.com. And your support is helping us defend liberty worldwide.